Hello, everyone, and welcome to our GenCon 2021 Fantasy Grounds Unity Overview. And I am David Middleton. I am the Senior Customer Service Representative for Fantasy Grounds and SmiteWorks. And I'll be with you for the next hour talking all about Fantasy Grounds, taking a little glance at the software itself, and also doing a Q&A towards the end of the stream. So get those questions ready, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability at the end of the stream, towards the end of the stream. So first off, I want to welcome everyone. If you're new to Fantasy Grounds, Fantasy Grounds has been around since 2004. And our current owners, which are Doug and John, they purchased a company, I believe, around 2013-14 from some Europeans. And the program has evolved ever since then. There's been 3 iterations of Fantasy Grounds, Fantasy Grounds 2, and now we call Fantasy Grounds 2 Fantasy Grounds Classic, which has been retired as of June 28th of this year, which there will be no more updates for Fantasy Grounds Classic and no more new products sold. And now we are on our 3rd iteration, which is Fantasy Grounds Unity. And Fantasy Grounds Unity's been around. It was launched probably around a year ago, and it's awesome. I mean, it's 64-bit compared to 32-bit, which Fantasy Grounds Classic was. And Fantasy Grounds Classic was limited, and we could not do a lot with images and maps. So Fantasy Grounds Unity has all kinds of new map making tools, etc. And we'll take a quick glance of those inside of the program. But first, I want to transition my screen over to the website, and I will be showing you the website. And here we go. This is our Fantasy Grounds website, and this is your one-stop place for everything you need for Fantasy Grounds. So you can check out our licenses. I'll talk a little bit about the licenses first. We do have a free demo version, as you can see here. And the free demo version allows you to download the software. It allows you to fire it up. It allows you to jump in there and kind of click on all the buttons, and it allows you to kind of test things out. Now, the demo is kind of limited where it does not allow you to host a game. So if you're wanting to test it out with all of your friends, the demo version will not allow you to do that. So we also, and I'll get back to that in just a second. Now, we have 2 licenses for Fantasy Grounds Unity. We have a Fantasy Grounds Unity Standard license and the Fantasy Grounds Unity Ultimate license. Now, the licenses are the exact same. There's no added on features for having the Ultimate version compared to the Standard version. Like I mentioned, Standard and Ultimate, they are the same exact program. No differences at all. Now, the differences between Standard and Ultimate licenses are this. If you have a Standard license, this will allow you to join a game and host a game for other users with a Standard license. Now, if you have the Ultimate license, it will allow you to join anyone's game. And if you have the Ultimate license, anyone can join your game with either a Standard version of the software or the free demo. So if you've already got a group of players, you're wanting to move to an online environment, and you've got, yourself and 6 players or 5 players or 4 players or however many players you have, then I would recommend getting the Ultimate, which is $149. And it allows all of your players to not incur any kind of costs at all and it allows them to download the demo program, which is free. Excuse me. I've been getting over sick the last couple of weeks, so my voice is breaking up. And it allows your players to join your ultimate campaign, with an ultimate license. They can join and not have to buy anything, which is really nice. So ultimate license, $149. Standard is $39. And we usually run sales on Fantasy Grounds licenses every 12 to 16 weeks. Now, we do have two storefronts. As you can see, this is our fantasygrounds.com website. And we do have a store, which is in the upper right-hand corner. There is a store, and then you can go to the shop. This is where you can check out all of the different products that we have. But if you want to pick up a license, you can pick that up here. If you don't want to endure the big cost, if you think you're only going to run with the program for a couple of months, then we do offer a 30-day subscription for both the standard and the ultimate. Now, the standard subscription is $4 a month, and the ultimate subscription is $10 a month. And it does not limit you. You get unlimited access to as many games as you want to host, etc. And then you'll be billed every 30 days, depending on which license that you pick up. Now, I mentioned that earlier that, hey, maybe I want to check out Fantasy Grounds and I want to test it, but I want to run it with my players to see if this fits our needs. And you can do that. I would recommend picking up a Fantasy Grounds Unity Ultimate subscription to test it out. Or if you want to buy the $149, you can do that, because we do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you purchase a license, if you purchase any of the rule sets, any of the modules from our store, you have 30 days that if you do not like the product, we have that much confidence in our product that you can get a refund within 30 days. You know, a lot of companies don't do that. But that's one great thing that we do, because we are so confident in our product. So if you want to test the software, pick up an ultimate license or the ultimate subscription. And then if the software doesn't, for some reason, does not fill your needs for you and your players, then just contact us through support, and we'll get you a full refund. No questions asked, as long as it's within the 30-day refund period. So those are our licenses, and that's how you get started with Fantasy Grounds Unity. Now, I want to show you the store as well. And we do support here with Fantasy Grounds, we support a lot of different game systems. When I first started with the company, and when I first started with using Savage Fantasy Grounds, there was just Savage Worlds and D&D 4, D&D 3.5, and that was about it. But now, years later, I believe we have 38 to 40 fully supported rule sets. I mean, that's just amazing. It takes a lot of work to create a rule set. It takes, I would say, at least a minimum of 6 months to a year to create. And then there's maintenance afterwards. And we have a great group of community contractors that we contract out to maintain these rule sets. I mean, our community is amazing. That's another thing that I will talk about. So as you can see here, we do have our storefront, and it has just gone through. Doug has revamped it. It looks really good. And you can do all kinds of searches with the store, etc. Right here in our, you can also show personalized suggestions, and it'll take into effect your searches and stuff like that. And it'll recommend as we have new releases, which are every week we have releases, and every week we rotate sales. And then you can sign up for our newsletter to get all of this information as well. And I'll get you that information here in just a second. But here's our search engine, and you can search by game system. And as you can see, we have a ton of fully supported game systems. Everything from 13th Age to 5e to the new Alien role-playing game, Call of Cthulhu, Conan 2D20, I mean, the list just goes on and on. Starfinder, Savage Worlds, Pathfinder. I mean, it just goes on, as you can see. You can search by rule set. You can search by publisher. We have great relationships with Pinnacle and Savage Worlds, Paizo with Pathfinder First Edition, Second Edition, and also Starfinder. We also have a great relationship with Wizards of the Coast and D&D 5e. We also have our Classics rule set that involves the BECMI basic BECMI rule set, which is basically one of the first editions of basic D&D, and Basic Expert, Companion, Master, and Immortal. And in first edition AD&D and second edition. So the rule set kind of kills three birds with one stone and supports all three. And you can use that for all three rule sets. We have bundles, which I'll show you bundles here. You can go to store and then bundles in the upper right-hand corner. And bundles will save you money. And we have bundles from Deadlands, which is Savage Worlds. We have Devon Knight. He does a lot of top-down PNG tokens. He's got a couple of 100 packs. He's got 3 bundles, Castles and Crusades. As you can see, AAW games, D&D 5e. We've got Starfinder bundles, Pathfinder bundles, Kobold Press. We have a lot of different bundles. And when you purchase all of the products at one time in the bundle, then you will save 15% and get a 15% discount. And if there's any sales going on within that bundle, that sale price will also, that discount will also stack with the bundle. So, and then once you have the bundle complete, anytime a new item is added to that bundle, then you'll get that bundle, that new item from that bundle at a discount when it's released. So yeah, we have lots of bundles. We have a great partnership with Paizo. So if you own any of the official PDFs, and this discount for Paizo products, Pathfinder 1e, 2e, or Starfinder, goes for if you only own the PDF from the official Paizo website. It does not count if you own a physical book or anything like that. So the way the discount works is if you have, say, the Dead Suns Adventure Path from Starfinder. Say you have the subscription, you get your free PDF every month, you'll get that price of the PDF discounted off of the Fantasy Grounds version. So the Dead Suns, the APs run $22.99 a book, and the PDFs are about $15. So if you have that and you have your Fantasy Grounds account linked up to the Paizo website, then you'll get that $15 for the PDF discounted off. So Adventure Path books only run you about $7 per book. Most of the core books from Pathfinder 2, from Starfinder, they're about $10 a PDF for the core book PDFs. If you have those PDFs and if you want to pick up, say, the Pathfinder 2 rule set, then you will get that $9.99 deducted off of the Fantasy Grounds version. And it also works vice versa. So if you pay full price for either that Adventure Path at $22.99 or $49.99 for the rule set, $59.99, whatever the price point may be, then you can go to, as long as your Fantasy Grounds account is linked up to the Paizo website, you can go to the Paizo website and download that PDF for free. So it's a great partnership that we have for Paizo. And it's great. Lots of people take advantage of that, get lots of discounts. And then plus any kind of sales, those sales also stack on top of the PDF discount, which, especially with the APs, you're only spending a couple bucks for a Fantasy Grounds version of an AP, which if, and the rule sets allow you to plug in the data, but to pay just a couple of bucks for a book, it saves you a multitude of hours in creating a module for your game. So this is pretty much our store. And it's a good thing. This is where everything happens. This is where all of our sales are. Like I mentioned, we have a newsletter up here in the upper right-hand corner. You can go to help And then you can go down to sign up for our newsletter, which is right here. And just click on that. It'll ask you what your email is. Once a week, maybe 2 times a week, you'll get emails with all of our new items, our sale items, and any other announcements that we have for Fantasy Grounds and Smiteworks. So definitely get signed up for the newsletter. Now, I also want to talk about something new that we have just released in the last, I would say, almost 2 months. It is our new Fantasy Grounds Forge. And it is forge.fantasygrounds.com. And I will also put this link into the chat for you, which there it is. And this is, we have a lot of customization that you can do with Fantasy Grounds, and that is not part of the core program. So if someone puts together maps using the art packs that we have, they can put the HTML up for that map. And then if you have the map packs, it'll automatically generate all the assets for that pack. If you're playing, you know, as you can see here, here's Pathfinder RPG, here's Summon Monster version 2.1, a mod. And what this does is summons monsters 1 to 10 and everything from Celestials, Fiendish, Shadows, everything. And you can get this extension for free. So here is a font color replacement for saves. You can get that for free. And then we also have paid, our creators, our content creators, either do free extensions or you can pay them for their extensions. And there are lots of extensions, and the extensions are pretty much for just about any of the rule sets. So there's lots to look through, lots of customization that you can do to your Fantasy Grounds games. And as you can see, there are just so many different tools to enhance your game. It's great. We've even got the old OS RICs, all of the 2E stuff, the 2nd edition stuff, compatible with the classic rule set. All of that stuff is free, and you just basically just get it. And then all of these extensions, these modules, they update through the patch system that we have that you'll see when you first start up the Fantasy Grounds program. And then, as I mentioned, you can actually pay as well. And then we have a currency called, it's gold basically, and it is basically 1 penny. You get 1 gold. You can buy it in $5 increments, and that's how you can pay our creators. So yeah, Forge is a new thing. Tons and tons of content on here that you can enjoy. Most of it's free. There's some that you can pay for, but a lot of these are beautiful extensions. So, and they're all maintained and updated through our patch system. So that is the new Forge as well. Now, I mentioned our forums. And yes, we do have forums. We also have a Discord server as well. So get signed up for the Discord server. You can find games on the Discord server. You can advertise, looking for group. You can meet new people. And there's tens of thousands of people that belong to our Discord community. Now, I will say this, one of the first things that I did notice about Fantasy Grounds when I first started using the software and before I became a full-time employee was the community was amazing. And, you know, there's a lot of toxic communities out there. I mean, it is the internet, surprise, you know, but I will say that our community here at Fantasy Grounds is amazing. There's a lot of great people that will take the time to answer your questions. And the forums is a great place to go. I mean, you can go and introduce yourself. You can look for games. We have our House of Healing forums. If you're having any kind of technical difficulties with the programs, if you're having any kind of weird errors, you can go to our House of Healing Unity forums. If you're using Classic still, which we do, we will not turn that off. It will be running. We just won't be updating it. You can still, if you're having problems with Classic, you can go there. We have a House of Healing forum for our new Forge, if you're having any issues there, etc. So we have lots of support that you can take advantage of, and along with our Discord server to get those questions answered. Now, if you are looking for a group, and you know, a lot of a lot of virtual tabletops have difficulties with people trying to find groups, trying to host games, etc. We have several different things that you can do to find a group. And the first thing I recommend, the two major areas that you can do this is either on the Discord server. We do have we have a player looking for group thread, and we also have a game master looking for players thread, and that's on our Discord server. And we do have links up to join the Discord server that just popped up in chat. And our forums is a great place as well. And as you can see, we have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of posts. So it's not like this isn't a forum that just has a post and then someone may answer weeks later when they run across it. I mean, every day. I mean, there are tons of people on our forums. So if you're looking for games, or if you want to host a game, we do have a looking for group form, which is right here as you scroll down and go to a find a game in our find a game section. And when you click on looking for group, you'll see that there are a ton of different games that are looking for players, and players looking for a GM, or a GM looking for players. So look at that. In fact, I just, in one of my earlier shows earlier today, I'm actually running a Starfinder beginner box set adventure. And in just within an hour, I've already had 22 views and 4 replies. That is interesting. So let's take a quick glance at this. Wow. This is awesome. So yeah, it is definitely active. You know, I really recommend you going to the forums, introducing yourself. We have a great community, and here's where you can find all games. So, I mean, there's just tons of games. The list just goes on and on and on. We also have public play. So if you are a Dungeons and Dragons Adventurers League fan, then you can go to our Adventurers League game forums. If you are into Pathfinder Society, we have a forum for you as well. And we also have a Starfinder Society forum. So there's lots of outlets to where you can go to find a game or to find players for your game. So definitely take advantage of the forums, and also take advantage of our Fantasy Grounds Discord. And the link to our Discord is in the chat right now. Now, I also want to mention our YouTube channel. And we have a ton of videos. And especially in the last month, I've probably put up about 50 new tutorial videos for Fantasy Grounds Unity. And once you get to our Fantasy Grounds YouTube page, you can go to our playlist. And here are all of our different playlists. So I have a game prep stream that I do every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, where I prep for all of my games. Here are all of our Fantasy Grounds Unity tutorials. As you can see, there are tons of them, and I have probably at least another 100 tutorials that I'll be adding as well. We do sometimes, from time to time, either myself or Josh, our resident artist, our amazing artist. We run games for the employees of the company, and we'll put those in playlists also. And then we do product reviews and stuff like that as well. So definitely check out our Fantasy Grounds YouTube channel. Lots of videos, lots of tutorials on Fantasy Grounds Unity, etc. So last, I want to mention our weekly streams. I mentioned that I do a game prep stream. That is on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And basically, like I mentioned, it's just me for about an hour and a half. It's how I prep for my games. No matter if I'm checking out content in a PDF like I did today, kind of reading a new PDF, getting some ideas for a campaign, or if I am plugging data in or creating new monsters, creating items, adding maps, whatever, creating modules. It's all about game prep. And that's at 3 p.m. Friday here on our content channel, whether it be we stream on Twitch, we stream on YouTube, we stream on Facebook, on Steam, on DLive, lots of different platforms. You can catch us all over the place. Also on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I've done Fantasy Grounds Fridays for the last 4 years. 182 episodes are in the book, and it's just where I talk about what's going on in the company every week, whether it be a Q&A or if I have one of the other employees on to talk about upcoming things, upcoming releases, etc. So I like to have Paulette join us, our social media manager. She's in the chat as well. Say hi, Paulette. She joined us. She joined me today, and we talked. And actually, I did sort of like a live tutorial on how to create that post for looking for players. So if you're interested in playing Starfinder, check out that post. Little shameless plug there, huh? And also, I mentioned Josh, our awesome resident artist or full-time artist with the company. He does a weekly stream, and it is every Saturday from 3 to 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And he shows off all of the map making tools with Fantasy Grounds Unity. So he does a great weekly stream. And if you are getting into Fantasy Grounds Unity, and if you want to start learning how to use the map making tools, I would definitely 150% recommend that you check out Josh's Saturday stream. And then I recommend, if you're new to the software and you're a DM, and if you're, want to learn how to do some prep for your games, check out my stream on Friday. So those are the 3 weekly streams that we have. Hopefully here in the near future, we are going to be adding a few more as well. And if we do, we'll probably announce it in our newsletter or on our social media outlets or on Fantasy Grounds Fridays. So that's pretty much what we've got going on with Fantasy Grounds and a company, and how you find our licenses, our store, our new Forge, our YouTube channel, our Discord channel link is in there. So definitely get involved with the community, start looking for games, and start getting signed up for games, and start running games as well. So I will take some questions now before I move on. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them now. Now I'll kind of check out some questions. So Villain by Default over in YouTube is asking if we can ever get the spin dice back. I don't know if that's going to happen for Fantasy Grounds Unity. That may be something that you can go and put into our idea informer, which is, the link is right below your post there, Villain. So if you want to see that, maybe get on there and request that feature to be added back into Fantasy Grounds Unity. Yes, Lone Jedi. Hello, Lone Jedi over on Twitch. Yes, the ability to feature products that you already own was a great improvement, definitely for the search engine in the store. That's for sure. Antler Dancer is asking, are there any plans to do WFRP? I'm not sure what WFRP is. If you can kind of type that out in chat, I'll let you know. Hello, Drake. How's it going? Drake Takes. He's going to be one of my new players in my Starfinder game. How's it going, Drake? Dark Soul 76. Hello. He's saying that there is a community created one. And you can find all of this on our Fantasy Grounds Wiki, which is also another great thing to check out. So I'm going to go into my massive amount of bookmarks and stuff, which I should have probably had this up. This is a very important site here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this link into chat as well for you. And this is our new Fantasy Grounds Unity Wiki. It has everything you need to know about the software, the rule sets, everything. All of our easy navigation here on the left-hand side. Everything from quick start on getting set up, installing, hosting a game, how to join a game, all kinds of basic guides, tutorials. Here's all of our available rule sets. There are tons of them. Like I said, there's probably close to 40 rule sets. I mean, look at that. There's just a massive amount of content that we support. So definitely check out the wiki as well. It is a great resource, and it does answer a lot of your questions. So let's see chat again. Leopold the Just, how's it going with you? Hello, Belle. All right. Yeah, just like let's see, Mestridas Magos. Boy, I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. I love to butcher the English language in case you don't know. Yes, he says, definitely get involved with the forums. People are amazing there. They really are. Oh, Warhammer Fantasy. I got you. Yeah, there's a community. I think there's a couple of community. Well, for Unity, I'm not too sure. I know there was a couple for Classic, but so there is one for Unity. That's a good thing. I should have known that. It's not like I haven't been playing games since the middle 80s. I should have known Warhammer. Duh, Dave. Alter, you're welcome for all of the links. It's not a problem at all. So what I'm going to do now is switch over and transition to the Fantasy Grounds program itself. And I'm going to kind of talk about the program and not get into too much depth, because there's so much you can do, and with an hour there's just no way that I can go over everything. However, Doug Davison, one of our owners of the company, he did do a couple of streams yesterday. Yesterday he did a D&D 5e character creation. He did like a 4-hour stream yesterday on character creation, creating custom classes, creating custom races, etc., how to input that data. He did that, and he also showed a lot of the features off, and that is in our YouTube channel. So you can take a look at that. You can also take a look at the stream that he did this morning, which was more module creation stuff that I do on Fridays at 3 p.m. And so yeah, you can check that out as well. And don't forget, we also have Josh doing a couple of streams this weekend, and Joseph, he's doing a Pathfinder 2 stream on Sunday. Now, I'm going to, before I go on, I do want to give you one other link. I do want to give you our GenCon link of all of our remaining events. And here is that link. And this link will show you the remaining 3 shows that we have. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, Josh is going to be doing his map creation stream tomorrow for GenCon. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern. It'll run about 3 hours. On Sunday, Josh is going to be doing a line of sight and lighting ranges show on Sunday at 9 a.m. for all you early birds. So before you go to church on Sunday, you can check out Josh's dynamic lighting and line of sight stream at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then our last show will be Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and it will be Joseph. He is also one of our customer service reps, and he will be doing a prep stream using the Pathfinder 2nd edition rule set. I believe he's running the very first adventure path, and I believe he's almost done with it. And I think he's going to be prepping for his game on Sunday. So yes, it is the age of ashes. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if Joseph's in chat or not, but I know he's been running Age of Ashes for quite a while now. So he may be prepping for that on Sunday. Not too sure though. So don't quote me 100% on that. So here is now that I've plugged all of our other events for GenCon Online, here is the Fantasy Grounds Unity software. Beautiful thing, isn't it? So we have kind of go over everything. First off, I'll go over the chat box. So the chat box is obviously where you chat. This is where you roll your dice. You have to roll your dice inside of the chat box, because if you don't roll it in the chat box, the roll won't register. So if you take your die and say, okay, I'm going to roll my die here, and you roll a 20, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to know. So you wasted a great roll. So yeah, just throw your roll anything here. You can adjust how many dice you want to roll. You can right click on all the die. If you want to roll 20s, go for it. You can do that with pretty much all of the different die. You got with the D10, you can do a percentile, sort of like the exception and special. So it'll tell you, hey, D100, you roll 66. Depending on the rule set that I'm using the D&D 5e rule set right now. There will be some modifier buttons down here in the lower left-hand corner of all of the different rule sets. And, you can have advantage, disadvantage, +2, +5. Here's a modifier box. You can add in, hey, I got a +8 to hit. You can, roll that. It'll roll 17 +8. And yeah, nice roll 25. I would have hit anything, probably would have even hit an ancient red dragon. So there is the chat, everything that you can do with it. We do have down here, F1 through 12 is our macros, and I really can't stress the importance of utilizing the macro bar. I mean, you can take if you're playing a fighter, you can drag and drop this. You can pick up this little red dragon icon here. You can drag it down here, hit F4 or click on the button, and it'll bring up all of the information for you. You can resize all of the windows by using the drag handle, or if you want to hold down Control and just resize it any way you want, you can do that as well. So that's with all of the windows. Every window can pretty much be resized. But yeah, depending, you can store any information you want down here. If you're running a game, if you love loot tables like I do, like in the 5e DMG, all of those, loot table A to Z, those are awesome. I love to have all of those in my macro bar. That way I can just easily open them up. So kind of show you, I think I might have the DMG. I do not, so I'll show you right now. Here's your library, and depending on how many modules you've purchased, it will have them there. So I'm just going to put Master in there because I know Dungeon Master's Guide will pop up. So there we go. There's our Dungeon Master's Guide. We'll just go ahead and load that in there. Really easy to load modules. You just basically click the load button. And then you'll notice there's either a red X or a green check mark. And that means that your players can see this. So all of the DMG player content, like the couple of I believe it's the Eladrin Elf, that race is in there as a custom race. There's, I believe, there's a Paladin Oath, the Death Oath or whatever it is, that content will be visible. It's by default, but if you don't want your players to see something, you'll have a red X. And then down here in the lower left hand corner, you can just take those and put them over whatever you want. So if you don't care if your players can see everything in the DMG, just take that green check mark and drag and drop it on there, and voila, your players will be able to see the DMG. You can do that for any book. You can do it for the monster manual, whatever. So now that I've got my DMG loaded, here's everything that the modules will have created. So we've got reference manuals. This is a beautiful thing. Reference manuals are almost like reading a PDF. And as I hit Control, I can resize this. In every chapter, this is basically just like reading out of the book. Or if there were PDFs for Wizards of the Coast, then it would look like this. And you can just use the navigation buttons down here at the bottom of the reference manual interface and read all of the content. So here's those tables I was talking about. All of these different Dungeon Master's Guide. You can select group. I can, here's all the treasure. Oh, this is so awesome. I love these. All kinds of rollable tables. I mean, just magic. Here they are. Magic item. You can just take these, drop them down there if you're a DM. I do this because I love tables. You just open it up, hit roll, and voila, it'll tell you, hey, you found a potion of climbing, or hey, you found another potion of climbing. Well, that doesn't happen very often, does it? But yeah, you can definitely utilize that. There's rollable tables. I mean, there's all kinds of automation. Kind of touch on some of the automation. And the last thing before I move on to the automation part of it, all of the modules that you load in your library, all of this information can be accessed here in the library or in the sidebar buttons on the right hand side. So you don't even have to open up the library to access your content. So if I want to just look at magic items, I can just click on items here on the sidebar button on the right. And here are all of the items that I have. And there are 35 pages of items that I can there are just tons and tons, an unlimited amount of magic items for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And, all of the rule sets, they'll do the same thing. So depending on what, rule set you're using. So if I want to look at, I want to look at the Dagger of Venom, I can click on the Dagger of Venom, and here's everything about the Dagger of Venom. All of the stats carry over to your character sheet. It'll add your proper proficient bonus, any kind of bonus, +1 to damage or +1 to hit, etc. If there's any kind of images, it'll show you, hey, here's what the Dagger of Venom looks like. And if you want to share it with your players, you can just right click it and then share it with your party, and then let the fighting begin, because everybody wants that beautiful dagger. So with the poison dripping off of the tip of the blade. So yeah, we've take care of all the work for you. Everything is really done up really well, and it saves you a lot of time, so you don't have to enter all of the data yourself. So, the bread and butter of Fantasy Grounds is all of its automation. And in the upper right-hand corner, you can click on the CT, or Combat Tracker. And this is where you will add your players from your character selection here, or your NPC selection, and you'll just add monsters in here. So I'm going to do a quick combat and just kind of show you some automation that we have. I want to go to my images. I want to just type in map. I've got a goblin map that I do want to, in fact, I want to type in goblin. I think I named it goblin. Images, categorize. Where did that image go? I know it's somewhere. In fact, I think I'll find it this way. There we go. The orc map. There we go. So here's what the maps. Here's all of the awesome new tools that we have with maps here in Fantasy Grounds Unity. Everything from, your different layers. You can add layers now. Here's all of the different stamp tools if you want to create a map. All of the different effects you want to do. So if you want to, add rain to your map, you can do that. There you go. There's rain. You can adjust the intensity, the speed. You can change the direction. You can do anything you want with this. Carl has done a bang up job on all of the new map making tools, and Josh has done a bang up job testing it and getting with Carl with corrections and stuff like that. So hats off to those two guys. They've done a great job getting it to where it is today. Here's all of the line of sight tools where you can add walls, traps, terrain, stuff like that. Josh will be showing that off on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so definitely be there to check that out. All kinds of lighting ranges. If your character has dark vision, you can add dark vision to that token. If your character has a lantern, you can put a lantern. We've got all kinds of presets, everything from candle to lamp to a torch. We even have light and darkness spells. So we have lots of options now in Fantasy Grounds Unity for mapping, and it is amazing, because that just could not happen with Fantasy Grounds Classic. So here we are. Here's our map. I'm going to throw a couple of goblins down. I've got one goblin here. I'll have a goblin here. All of our goblins in the orc map. And then I'll throw a couple of my players over here. Warner, Presto the Wizard, and Snaggletooth. So I wonder if I have any items on these guys. I hope I do. I do. I have a longbow on War Nerve. What else do I have on Presto? I have a dagger on Presto, and let's see what I got on Snaggletooth. Snaggletooth has nothing. So everything in Fantasy Grounds is drag and drop. I mean, it is awesome. All you have to do is just open up your items, and we'll say that, hey, here's something convenient. We'll say that Snaggletooth has a dagger +3. You just pick this dagger up and drop it right on the equipment right here. Go to inventory, take this dagger +3, drop it. It adds an exquisite dagger. We'll have to open it up. We have identification, which is in the options. You can identify and unidentify magic items. As you can see, it'll say exquisite dagger. And then once you take a rest, you identify it. Wow, Snaggletooth knows that he's got a dagger +3 now. So yeah, all kinds of things for you to do in Fantasy Grounds. Isn't it just glorious? So here we are. We've got our goblins. We've got our party, and we'll say that we'll go ahead and we'll roll initiative. We can go into our options here. We can roll. There's our menu, and we'll just do initiative. We'll do roll all initiatives, and there you go. And as you add monsters, you generate encounters, it does all of that for you automatically. Your players roll initiative. It will automatically update their initiative with their dex modifier or whatever modifiers that they have, whether it be with a feat or whatever. So yeah, it really takes everything into consideration for you. So we've got a couple of goblins that are going first. And we'll just say that, you can just move the tokens up to the players, and we'll say that the goblin here, we'll go to round number 1 now. And this goblin, as you highlight it and rifle through them in the combat tracker, has all of their attacks there. You don't have to open up their sheet or anything. So the goblin goes up to Presto the Wizard and attacks. You just basically take this attack +4, take it over to the map, drag and drop it down there. And it tells you, look at that, the miss with the attack is only a 6. So we'll kind of go to Presto the Wizard now. Let's see. We'll say that Presto just takes we'll say that he takes disengaged and moves back. We'll say the Goblin Boss, he charges in there. He attacks War Nerve. He's got a scimitar. Take that attack, you drop it on it. That's a miss. And then you just go to the next actor, etc. And then Snaggletooth is there. We'll say Snaggletooth is going to attack with his beautiful new +3 dagger. And we'll do the attack here, which is +5. You take and drag it onto the Goblin Boss. Look at that. That's a hit with a 17. You take your damage. You drop it on. The goblin's now wounded. He's taken 5 damage, and you can see the hit points are added onto the wounds category. So it takes care of everything for you. I mean, excuse me, my voice is going. This is my 3rd stream of the day, so if you have any kind of saving throws, if, Presto the Wizard's casting any spells, you can do single target saving throws. You can do group, area of effect if he's casting Fireball, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, whatever. The system will take into consideration any kind of failed saving throw for full damage or a successful saving throw for half damage. The system is that smart. So, yeah, you could check out Doug's other GenCon videos from yesterday and this morning, and it will have all of that for you. So I just wanted to kind of show you a little bit of the functionality of what Fantasy Grounds has to offer. And then here we have options that you can kind of customize everything as well with, depending on the rule set that you're using. There are different options that you can do. Like, hey, if you want to re-roll initiative every round, you can do that. If you want to give all of your NPCs max hit points or standard or random, you can do that. You can, if you want to do the optional movements, like in 3.5, where it is The first diagonal square is 5. The second diagonal square is 10. 5, 10. You can do diagonal movement, and your pointer will take that into consideration. You can do more inspiration slots. You can let your players have up to 3 inspirations if you want. There's just all kinds of customization with this. You can customize all the different tokens where it can display names, health bars, etc. Yeah, the software takes care of everything for you. So that is Fantasy Grounds, the program in a nutshell. Everything that we have going on here with our website, our new Forge, our store, our forums, how to find a group, our YouTube channel, our weekly live streams. And don't forget, not only do we have all of our content for sale on fantasygrounds.com, but you can also link up Fantasy Grounds to Steam as well. And you can pick up all of the Fantasy Grounds Unity products, which we do now have over 2,400 modules and rules. We just have an exuberant amount of products now. And James, our product coordinator, does a great job of getting all of those coordinated with Brad, our marketing manager, to get all of those new products priced and approved and set up on Steam and our website. So we've got a couple of minutes left. And I timed it perfectly. Look at that. So go ahead and feel free to ask any questions if you have any, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you, for sure. So let's see. Leopold the Just, how's it going? It's super fun and handy. Thank you very much. We think so as well. All right. Antler, you just bought the standard license. Awesome. Well, welcome to Fantasy Grounds. And if you have any questions, feel free to jump on our forums and go to the House of Healing. Or if you're having any kind of technical problems, feel free to reach out to support as well. If you have any questions or anything, that's why we're here. So. And don't forget, we have that 30-day refund, money-back refund guarantee. So we have that much confidence in our product. And if there's a module that you picked up and you don't like, you can get a refund for it as long as it's within 30 days. Or if you decided to try the software and it's not for you and your players, you have the 30-day refund window. Yeah, everybody's making fun of me because of Warhammer, because I just totally botched that one. Yes, Antler, it is pretty much the same screen, although your players will not have the same options. The GM options will only be available to the GM. So it's not like your player can just sneak right in there and start looking through the DMG or the module or anything. Tone C, glad you love it. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hob, I clean up real pretty. Yeah, I had a beard. I was sick for the last 2-3 weeks, and I actually had a pretty nice beard going, and I cut that off. So, and I finally got a haircut a couple days ago. I was looking pretty jakey, but with all this coronavirus, I just don't want to go out. So that's it for the questions. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And also, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend with GenCon Online. So don't forget, tomorrow we've got Josh at 2 p.m. Eastern. He's going to be doing his map creation stream for 3 hours. Also, Josh is going to be doing his dynamic lighting and line of sight stream on Sunday at 9 o'clock. So you can catch that before church. And then also on Sunday, we've got our very own Joseph. He's going to be doing a Pathfinder 2 game prep stream, showing off the Pathfinder 2 rule set. So there we are, everybody. I hope everybody has a great Gen Con weekend. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on support. Or if you need answers for technical stuff, go to the forums as well. So thank you everybody for watching. My name is David, and we'll see you there in Fantasy Grounds. Bye for now.